What up, everyone? It's your boy Fen Dog with Through the Ropes, Jake, Drew, and Paris. We got an awesome guest with us, Ryan, the Electric City Strangler Ibsen. Ryan, what's cracking today?
Oh, same shit. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Drew, how you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. Back to work, moving, grooving. I feel good to be part of the bearded group with the rest of you guys now.
You look sharp.
Yeah, you like it?
It's a special group to be a part of.
I've been clean shaven my whole life, so.
You know, it sucks to be injured like that, but when you're in the service industry, it's nice because people feel bad for you. So have you been making a little extra money?
Yeah, I have.
Really gotta milk it.
It's been making up for the limited hours, my restrictions, which I do. I mean, like literally by the end of the shift, my ankle swells up, and it's
That's
like
what's up.
punishment. But you know, rent.
Paris,
Right.
what's going on with you, dude? You got some big news over there.
I just bought a new Mustang, so that was pretty sick. A 24 GT with the performance pack. Drove it all the way back from Virginia. It was about a 34-hour drive, and took 2.5 days to get back. And yeah, hit some of those mountain roads, and that was fun. And then South Dakota was just a straight line.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. If you see him, don't hit him, please.
Congratulations.
Don't hit me.
Yeah. So Ryan, what's going on? You got a fight coming up here soon, November 9th. I think it was announced recently that you're going to be on the Montana card. And what's been going on? You kind of had a tough loss. What was that? 2 months ago we were talking.
Yeah. August 31st. Ate a pretty solid loss, but hoping to bounce back and in good form.
Yeah. So what kind of happened there? You just got caught with the shot you were saying there?
Yeah. He hit hard. We knew that. He was a lot shorter than me, so dove in, closed all the distance between us like I shouldn't have, and I rolled right into a hook is what I think happened, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. So
Yeah.
ate the hook, went out. What can you do?
Do you think fighting in that baby cage baby ring made a difference? It looked like if you had laid down and put your arms straight, that you would have fell out of the ring.
It was awkwardly small. I remember that when I walked in, but the ring wasn't a fault. That was entirely my own actions. He didn't close the distance. He didn't push me against the rope. I dove into him, and then I kept just walking into him. But that's all from watching. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he rung you in that first little bit, and you're on Queer Street that whole time.
He put me on Queer Street pretty early.
Yeah,
it was bad.
And I was like, he don't look after that first one. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense hearing you talk about it. So it's.
So was
Well,
that just a little bit of excitement then, or were you was your game plan wanting to put pressure on him, or what kind of?
Man, we trained. So the one fight that I saw from him, and I didn't know this until after the fact. I'm talking to him afterwards. Him and the guy that he had fought before me that I did all my film study on, they had a genuine dislike between each other. So he came out, and I mean, he was fucking going. So I planned the whole time on him bum rushing me, and that's what I thought was going to happen. When he didn't do it, it completely threw my plan out the window. I was all, I'm going to be southpaw. I'm going to dance to his lead foot. Just stay outside of that. I'm 6'3". No one's going to touch me. Then he started out, and I think he took a lateral step, and then he kind of backed up. And I was like, that's not what you were supposed to do. and then next thing you know, I remember some lights and a red stool, I think, and that's where it went.
Yeah.
Well, I know that wasn't necessarily, the outcome that you wanted, but it's nice to see you kind of being able to get some fights. You had that Fusion fight and then this. I know you were waiting a long time, so maybe it's a little bit of just shaking the rest off too. So we're excited for you to be getting these opportunities. So November 9th, you'll be down in Billings. What have you obviously every fight you train a little bit differently for someone. What have you been doing a little bit differently from your last camp? I know you don't want to give too much away, but to prepare for this guy's 1-0, I believe you said, Brandon.
Yeah. Brandon's he's 1-0, and from what I've seen on him is he's a pin or get pinned fighter. He comes in and he's going at you to fight, but he's also very durable. It's like fighting a piece of leather. I mean, if you knock him down, he gets up. He is tough. So fully ready for that. I guess the biggest difference between this camp and all the other camps is I spar a lot, and that I'm not putting that off as an excuse for anything. Just sparring a lot. My head wasn't feeling I felt weird in my head. I don't know how to describe it. Spacey.
Kind of foggy.
Yeah. It's just day to day I was confused, and I haven't sparred since the knockout in 2 weeks. So I've just been doing movement, and I feel a world better.
Yeah.
Everything physically started to fall into line.
Especially that short term, neurological damage.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you have certain long term that'll never go away, and you have a certain amount of punches you can take in your life. But like, yeah, you kind of have to like let your bell stop ringing.
Well, so the fusion fight right before the BKFC fight, that fight with Andrew Huckabee, I don't know how many elbows I ate in that fight. I don't remember. I remember, like, I know we went to decision, and I do remember bits and pieces of the whole thing. That was a long night for me. It was 15 minutes.
That
of
is tough,
elbowed.
dude. And like, and here's the thing on that is like, you're just good enough to not be finished, and you're definitely tough enough that you're not going to look for an out. So
right.
yeah, and so.
Well, it's having those moments of desperation. Well, yeah, you have those, like, you're kind of like, man, I wish my lights would go out, but they don't, and it's like, all right, I'll look for a way out. But then he's good enough to counter it. You know,
and
exactly
it's just like, and even if you get up, then he's got you're back down again, and then it's just tough psychologically. And then anytime he gets an opportunity, there's something that's going to hurt.
Right. And yeah, I mean, Andrew's very well coached. I mean, you know, I had Cal Clemon, I think is his name. You remember? He was a 135er for the longest, but he coached out of Butte now.
Yep.
But he was in his corner, and I just remember, like, everything he was yelling made sense. And I was like, can you just fuck up once?
Yeah.
Like, tell him to go to the wrong hip, something, because he's listening to everything.
Can you not be good at this?
Yeah, how dare you? It's just a fist fight. Calm down.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Damn it.
And that was at the baseball stadium. So, like, with them looking down on you as opposed to being in where you're surrounded, there's no chance for crowd noise to drown it out.
You know, it was one of the biggest, you know, I was joking around with another buddy of mine, but, you know, before I walked out, he's like, bro, you have literally dozens of people screaming. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Well, you know, so I go walking out, and that's something like me and Andrew actually joke about. It's like, there's dozens of people going nuts. And then get into the ring, and
a lot of heart.
Man, everyone's screaming Ryan. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I appreciate all the love. I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So there was that, like, degree of like, fuck, I really let the home team down, huh?
It's a tough fight, man. That's a tough opponent. That shows that you're willing to fight tough guys. And he couldn't finish you. He got real close at the end. He was trying.
Yeah, I was like, it's 10 seconds. What are you trying to do?
When you're not cherry picking, you know, you're not cherry picking. These easy wins, you know, to pad your record. You're taking. I don't think anyone would say that you let the team down by any means.
No,
well, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, it's tough. I mean, a lot of people, you know, say a lot of stuff. You know, it's funny, you know, now as I start to meet some of you guys, and I had the privilege of coming down to Flow State a little bit. It is funny the stuff you hear people say in the crowd, or like when you're watching the fights, and it's just like, even if you go in there and you get knocked out immediately, the fact that you had the guts to step inside of that ring, you know what I mean? And I know for you want to win and you want to compete at an extremely high level, but for me as an outsider just watching, it's like I appreciate anyone that has, you know, the guts to get in there and do it. So
I mean, it's appreciated on the competitor's edge, you know. See, actually, one of the shows, it was a smoker event, and Terrell actually kicked a guy out of the crowd. I remember he was
that.
You remember that? Yeah. I was like refereeing or something, and he stopped the show and kicked that guy out. And I was like, thank you. I mean, especially at the smoker event, because those guys are all amateurs. I mean, this might be their first fight very well. I mean, if you're going to sit there and boo them because they're trying and they got tired, who the fuck are you, you know?
Or, and they just, they didn't expect to go 3 rounds real quick. I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to see red, and I'm going to knock them out.
I'm going to see red, and heads are going to be flying. Like, heck yes, they are, big guy.
Yeah, I believe you.
Here's a glass of milk, have fun.
Did you run or do anything?
No, bro, I saw red.
I saw red.
I'm saying.
I can't train in a gym. I'd hurt someone.
That's right.
My brother's friend, I will say, dude, I think it was the first fight, Alan Guerrero. Dude, you were the bomb, dude. He was just sitting there. He was the bigger Hispanic dude, and he was fighting the white dude, and they were just bombing on each other. He bombed on that dude like the whole time, but that dude threw some back on him. But it went 3 rounds, but that was, you know, it was a fun fight to watch.
The reality, and even if you're going like 2 guys see red, like you're going to get tired hitting each other. It's actually way harder to knock someone out than you think. Like from the stance, well, I would have moved to my left and thrown a hook. I was like, yeah, but he would have just hit you with that other hand. You thought, oh, he's moving to his left.
Like also,
right, dude. You get timed you out. You got punched in the tummy. That hurts way worse.
Oh, and someone who's never been hit in the liver, or like what was one of the guys? It was Marab got kicked like
Splatter, dude.
Yes,
right
I was just
gonna
say that. Oh man, that one. If you had to pee, you wouldn't pee.
It'd be kind of funny to see. Can you try that?
No, it's
yeah. All right, dab.
yeah, no, I've seen that, not in person, but like.
I always feel bad. You see the ones on the internet where the guy like rolls off and he'd like shit on the.
Yeah, I've seen something similar. I think I seen a guy in a knockout like that, but we try not to talk about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate
because that could be you.
Yeah. Right. But it's like
we don't bring
they put it out there to
us.
like make fun of it. It's like, come on, man, that's rough.
In a real note, if you have a fight, go to the bathroom before the fight.
Yeah, do your best.
So
Yes.
I guess if you were at this point, are you just trying to fight in any one of these competitions, or not competitions, but these fight promotions, or are you wanting to more focus on bare knuckle, or are you wanting to do more MMA, or what do you think where your path leads you? I know you're just kind of going with the flow right now, but
I'm just kind of here for the journey, and that's why like I'll fight anybody they offer. I don't cherry pick. I don't ask names. I don't ask records. If you say a name, I'll just say yes. Is kind of where I've been. The BKFC card was unique. I was going to take some time off because that knockout was pretty rough. I was going to take some time off, but then, Kai's a good friend of mine, and his card, and, we haven't got to be the Battle Brothers on a card since June 9th of last year. So,
and that was an awesome card, dude, where you rocked it.
Killer. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was like, return to that form, and hopefully we'll be good. So
I'm not telling you what to do, but I would like control the space better.
No, bro. See, if I negate the space, then he has no excuses when he loses. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I thought maybe that had been psychological when you were in that little one. Maybe it was more.
It was weird looking at it though. I mean, really, I do feel like what you were saying. I could lay down. I feel like if I laid down and like touched a rope and he laid down at some point, even with him being all of like 5'5", I think he was, he would have touched the other rope. It was a small.
You could have stood in the middle of the ring and did rope a dope.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, that's what we were saying. It looked like you could literally take like a half a step back and you would have been like, So,
and I expect to see that next time you're in the tiny ring.
I got you. Don't worry.
So is it kind of hard then, just since you train so hard for one and then you're training for another, to kind of separate the two?
You like the disciplines?
Well, and just as far as like it's one thing, when you're at your gym training a little bit, but trying to not fight the urge to like not throw a leg kick, because you're going to be in bare knuckle.
That creeps in a bit. You see him, especially I feel it a lot when I spar a guy, Tristan, because he's a good boxer, but he plants.
Shout out Tristan Grigori.
Yeah, Tristan Grigori. He plants so heavy on his lead leg, and every time he does that, we'll be just doing hands, and I'm like, I just want to take that leg from you. And thankfully, the boxing shoes are like how I remember.
Yeah,
can't kick, especially when you get in the swing of things. But
that's why I always train in the wrestling boots. That way, they don't know.
Never.
Pink.
You might hit him with that. Give it to him.
Hard little toast on
There's a fucking ring post. I got to jump. You know what I'm saying? The turnbuckle.
Those were the days.
Back when fighting was fighting.
Yeah. Back when men were men.
That's right. Don Fry era.
Yeah.
He's still my favorite, I think.
He's a true American hero, man.
God, the way he talks, too. It's just, you bad son of a bitch.
Yeah. It's just what it is.
Right.
Though...
Go ahead, sorry.
Even though he's like crippled right now, because
he still beat my ass,
Well, I ain't
Don
fighting
Fry.
Yeah.
Legend.
You're just gonna see Ryan out there with a razor blade and then cut himself. Like, where'd that cut come from?
With a steel chair.
So this is going to be kind of a really fun card. It looks like you got it, like half the squad is going to be there. Not half the squad, but you know what I mean? We got Kai, you're going to be on it. You said Tristan, and then Dakota announced yesterday, I believe. She had told me the other week, but anyways. But she had finally announced that she's going to be on the card too. So that's super exciting.
Yeah.
You and Kai are going to be the Bash brothers on the card.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And and this will be cool to see him and his girlfriend.
I'm actually
together.
Right? If you know Montana fighters, and even like these regional fighters, this is actually a really good card coming on.
Yeah.
For,
actually, I think we talked about that the last episode about Kai and her either way. But no, yeah, it looks like they're kind of flying in some really good talent. Like, I mean, we got Brandon Allen, Robert Armas, Gabriella Roman. I don't really know much about some of the other people here, but I heard that the co-main is supposed to kind of be a banger too.
Can't see who the co-main is.
Let's see.
I can't. Yeah, Angula and Lane. So in Lane 6 and 7, I seen some people talking about it, and it seemed like it was going to be a good fight. So
Hey, is that one right before that? Timmy Mason. Is that the one?
Timmy
fighting?
Mason and
Allen.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a banger.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
that's
He's
one.
fighting. He looks, dude. His picture that they use versus what he looked like in his last fight. He had like the beard and kind of like longer hair. It's like, yeah.
Dude,
No,
he's
for
got
sure.
crazy in his eyes,
Mhm.
and that's what you kind of need in bare knuckles.
something's
Yeah.
kind of thrown off.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
and dude,
and
and
he hits like a truck.
after
Yeah, that
the,
helps too.
The performance that he had in Sturgis was really good.
That was like 17 seconds, right?
Yeah, dude, and he just
That was calm.
canned that guy, dude. Gabrielle Frere. Is that how you said? Sorry if I just butchered your name, home dog. But yeah, it was pretty bad. So that's kind of crazy too, because that card has, I mean, you fight in the 145 division. They're gonna have Brandon Allen and Mason, who are in the 145, and then we know the boy Kai is
Hell yeah.
defending the title against Jimmy Rivera at the 145. So it's kind of crazy that they're gonna have three. Well, no, yeah, and Armas and Lopez are in the 145 as well. So they're gonna have.
Oh, I know who Armas is. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good
yeah.
dude. He's just super good dude. I got to meet him down in Denver, and then I've stayed in contact through Instagram stuff, and he's super positive guy, awesome dude, and I hope he wins that fight. I never root against Montana, but I want him to win that one.
There's quite the concentration of 45s now that you.
Yeah, it's like four.
I didn't know the fight card. I've been.
Busy living. If you go to the prelims real quick too, there's Dorian Long. That's another great falls fighter, and then
Yeah, we've been training with
Brady.
Dorian.
Yeah, I seen he was
Yeah,
holding.
dude.
Go ahead, sorry.
sorry, he's a good dude too.
Yeah, I seen he was holding
And we've
mitts
been
for Tristan.
Yeah, we've been
yesterday.
training with Dallas too, and
Yeah, that's
all of
cool.
them getting in and getting to work. Dallas trains with everyone, so I mean, you can see the growth with him. He's
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like I see him like a little bit of in the background of someone's video over at Electric City, or then
Yeah,
he'll be
he's
a
been doing a lot with
counterpunch.
Wagner and Bercier. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, Leo's on the card.
how
God
gross
bless
is it
Leo.
when Leo punches people? Just that sound.
I know.
I'm
He's another one.
excited.
It's like, it's just a fist fight, man. Calm the fuck down.
Right.
Well, yeah, but you trained with Leo, and like Leo would hit you in training, and you know he's not hitting you as hard
That's
as he
it.
can.
Yeah, he's pulling it. He's being nice,
Yeah.
and it's still. It's like your soul cries a little
Yeah,
bit.
he touches your liver through your skin.
And then he
like-
gets tired, and he just starts hitting you harder, and it's like, "Fuck you, dude!
Yeah.
Stop it!"
Yeah,
You can't
well,
stop it.
he has to keep your. He has to have your respect.
He's a walking ego
You know
check.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would be on this card. Leo's always.
Generation's a great falls fighter.
Oh, that's good. He's a walking ego check.
If you think you're tough, just like run into him and then
Yeah.
you then find out
Pop
that
some
you're
stupid
not.
shit.
But I'm excited. He's always a huge draw for Montana. It seems like, well, Great Falls, and I feel like for Montana in general.
Oh, yeah.
He had his time in Missoula and stuff. He's got a big fan base. He had a really tough loss down in Hollywood, Florida a couple
don't
months
talk
ago.
about it.
And I had seen him at the golf course with my homie Jason, and we talked to him for a little bit. And he said, he's like, I could have, trained a little bit more, but he took that fight on super short notice. And, for what it was for him. And that dude that he fought is like a monster that I think is
Yeah.
going to be huge in that division.
Well, he's a
So-
monster at heavyweight too. That's the thing. But then Leo, it's like, yeah, you got hit, but every time he popped back
Dude.
up. And I mean,
Yeah, and that's just the
Leo's a
nature of
warrior.
that.
Yeah, he was eating some insane punches in that fight. So,
Yeah.
Leo remains like one of my absolute favorite local fighters. He's a
yeah.
well, even like on like the Big Show scale, the way he fights. I really like the way he fights.
Yeah.
Just no
Kind of
fucks given.
last sort of a era.
So then I figure, I guess they're going to announce the other prelims because Tristan's going to be on this card too.
Well,
right?
so they're doing like from what I
Andy.
understand, they're doing an amateur thing, and I think there was like 6 or 7 amateur fights.
What?
Yeah.
On top of this card?
Yes, I think they're going to do those before the prelims. That they're not going to air at all. I don't know what the deal is with airing or anything.
Damn, so I'm gonna have to show up super early to watch Dakota beat some ass, and then probably go take a little nap, and then.
Well, that's unfair to everyone else.
Well, no, I'm sure. Well, no, I'll have to stay because Tristan will be there, and then is anyone else from Flow State fight, or isn't Austin gonna fight, or not Austin?
We had Lance.
Lance, I'm sorry,
Lance. I want to say his opponent fell through or something. I don't know.
But he's preparing for something else though too, isn't he? He's got another fight.
He's got a lot of fights.
Yeah, he's got
at any one time he's training for like 2 or 3 different things.
Yeah,
he said he's going to defend his title, I think, in Salt Lake.
Oh yeah, he just won that belt. Yeah, Fierce is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good win too.
Yeah.
Watch that fight. I was like, oh, well done.
So let's say you're gonna win this fight. Not let's say you're gonna win this fight. So I remember you were saying a while ago that you had wanted Brian Duran and he wasn't signing the contract. Who you want next in BKC? Are you wanting him for any specific reason, especially after he lost that, or do you think you have to maybe get another win or two?
I don't know. I got to tell you with the Brian Duran thing, I think I might have been catching some false information.
Okay.
So that one, I thought it was like a personal thing with Duran, and then I guess just without trying to throw shade to anyone,
right?
There was
keep it PC always.
Yeah, always. I don't want to step on anybody's toes and be rude, but it was. I feel like I was catching like half truths, pieces of the story.
As far as like him saying something about you, or like the fight,
just the way things were going in general.
Okay.
I got sent some messages after the fact when I was campaigning for the fight. Just a lot of things that came through, and it's like that kind of makes a lot more sense than I guess the conclusion that I was kind of guided to.
Okay.
So Brian Duran, I thought that he had some kind of like thing with me personally, and which I was weird because I'm like 1-0 at the time, and he was like 4 or 5-0. So the whole thing didn't really make sense to me as it was. But apparently that one's not even a thing. So after this, no, I do want to take some time off. I just got a lot. I graduate in December, and I don't know. Just
what are you going to be when you grow up?
An adult.
Don't do that, dude.
Yeah, that's
the worst
so boring and overrated, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad decision.
No, I have a lot kind of going on, and I'm trying to just get where I want to be in the fights. Not that they're like a bad stress, they take. You got to be selfish, and you have to focus a lot more than I feel like I can afford to focus at this point on it. Mm-hmm. So it's something, take a little time, get myself lined out where I want to be again, and then circle back. Like I said, I took this fight because it's, it's Kai's card in Montana. I don't know how hip BKFC is to coming back after this one, but this one even kind of seemed like they were throwing us a bone. So
that's why we need people to show out.
That's right. Enjoy it while we can, because if you don't, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, and that's what I think we said on one of the shows when we had Terrell on. Is like if we want high tier stuff, or like even Fusion to grow and get bigger and better and have better fighters to come in, we have to go to these shows.
You got to show up.
And we got to show up and support. And that's.
And by the way, like BKFC, I still say that all the time. Is like I've been to UFC, I've been to Bellator, I've been to all sorts of MMA events, boxing. BKFC to me is like the most intense and one of the most fun fights or promotions to go to, if you ask me. Like it's just so intense because like obviously you get a lot more blood. It's a little bit more action for the fans and whatnot. I think it's a blast to go to. I love going to BKFCs, whether I'm working them cage side, which is the dopest, or
I guess it's all right.
Yeah, I get like one of the best seats in the house. But either that or like just going and enjoying as a fan. Like it's so fun to go to.
Well, I enjoy it. Like from the fighter perspective, what kind of makes it, and this is something I've talked actually extensively about with Kai, is there's always that factor. I mean, like you go into an MMA fight, and we saw it on this last Fusion card. You see a guy win without having to throw a single punch. You take you down, submit you out, and it's just done. BKFC, it's like it's super likely that you are going to physically look different after the fight. So there is that weird, I don't know, it's like a psychological trip for me where I'm like, okay, I'm going to I'm going to have a new scar. You know, I'm assuming my nose is going to get shattered one way or the other. It's just the weird stuff that you pump yourself for that maybe it's like
the no defense. I mean, or limited defense. I mean, there is get the hell out of the way or you're able to, touch. But even then that hurts.
Well, and if you do successfully slip the punch, I mean, a bare knuckle's going to rip you.
Yeah.
So that little thing you do and it rips across. I got cut here. I had no idea it even happened. I guess I was blinking red,
I've never thought about it.
I saw red.
It's like, but not in the way you wanted.
Yeah, no. People weren't dying.
I never thought of it like that. Like you have to physically or mentally prepare yourself to know that you're going into I'm probably gonna. Well, we've seen fights where it looks like like you're saying, it looks like someone barely grazes them with that knuckle and they just split it wide open.
Where did that come from?
Yeah,
especially when if you start throwing elbows into the game. That's where bare knuckle MMA is just so dangerous in the same type of way.
Right.
So it's a lot of. I like as personally, I like seeing the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu and everything else. But obviously, it is nice to see more punching, just because obviously that's got a little bit more excitement factor.
Yeah,
but
it just feels like it's something that fans can understand easier. Like if someone's going for a Kimura or something, not everybody's gonna know
you're just
what they're doing.
You're
just you're just sitting on them. Like if you're setting something up, other than people who do know, but the punch in the face, everybody knows what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Me get that.
That guy hit him. He got hit.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's it's good and bad, but it sucks sometimes. You could have an amazing chess match between two skilled wrestlers and people booing them.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how exhausting that is?
Yeah.
You guys get in there and do it.
Right.
No, just do the practice. Just do one wrestling practice in your life, and that's another ego check. You thought you were in shape.
Yeah.
I've never gotten tired in wrestling ever.
Yeah, right.
Not once. Shut up.
How dare you?
That's how you want to know if you're ready for the Armageddon. Go to the middle school wrestling practice and do what they do.
And they're just jogging for an hour and a
I don't
half.
want to be around
Let's
kids.
do that. Well, I mean, we won't talk to them. We'll just be hey,
Yeah.
coach.
No. No, we can. I like the idea of us trying to follow around the Argos. And then just us being horribly out of shape, trying to keep up with them. It's just kind of funny.
The Argos, dude, they would wreck us. They're so good.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just just their practice. It's
okay.
I thought
It's I don't know if I want to wrestle them, but I'll.
No, they asked us drill. Can we just do the drills that you're doing and the workouts you're doing, and then them running in with perfect form and us just looking.
Okay. Also, so bad. The fuck kind of stance
Also, I don't
that?
appreciate you keep saying us. All right, I may be able to keep up. I don't know yet.
You'll do fine.
If you think you can keep up, you can't keep up.
Yes.
Just remember that.
No.
Yeah.
Wrestling's different.
Yeah, in a collegiate level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just fun.
No, I just want to do. I don't want to get body slammed by anyone.
Every fight
you
camp.
need just a little.
Every MMA fight camp, I'm I don't know. I'm going to get a hold of someone at the college. I'm going to see if I can work out with the college team. And then it's just not ready for all that yet.
You should.
I'll just stick with the getting kneed in the mouth.
You should.
Yeah.
You should be wrestling with these guys. You should be doing a wrestling thing and have them do some grappling with you in the cage. Because you'd be
I
amazed.
know full well what I should do. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No, that is again we're in the time sink of what you're doing. Now you got to kind of find you're lucky enough to have keys to the gym. So you can be all right, you're got free time on a Tuesday at 4:30. So do
Meet
I.
me here, yeah.
Yes, as opposed to well, hey coach, can we? Yeah.
Right.
So, but with you have children and job, and you said you're going to college. So
I wanted to circle back to that because what we were talking about earlier. I would never hang my head if I was you because I know for a minute there you were working 2 jobs. You're going to school. You have a kid. Those things in general would be intense to try and maintain without also adding what you're doing on the side. So I definitely don't, no. Everyone that I know that knows you is super proud of you and the stuff you're accomplishing. So what are you doing? What are you doing in school? What are you going to graduate? December, you said you graduate?
Yeah, graduate December. I'll have a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and an Associate's in Human Resource Management.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's all stuff that it's very broad.
So what would you like to do with this education?
Well,
if you had your dream application that you put in, what position would you be besides bottom?
I never refuse being on bottom. Let's make that clear.
No saying I would.
Yeah, please.
I'm talking to a gentleman here.
Fucking dumb. No, well, the whole thing that started, I had a human resource business partner with the last company I was with. He's the one that talked to me and was like, human resources really it's so expansive. There's a lot that can be done. And that's what I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. Cause I knew I wanted to move up, Yeah. I didn't want to have to like break my back my whole life.
That's not good.
Right. I was like, I want to be able to enjoy my like 40s and 50s if I can. But then I did negotiations against Graincraft's chief resource officer. Yeah. And the way that man walked in the room, and that's what I want to be. I want to be a chief. So I guess long story. Sorry.
I want to hear about it. No, this is interesting. Dude. Don't even apologize.
The strategic level of human resources, I think, is fascinating.
Like how you're managing 200 people are operating.
Yeah. How the human capital is managed and moved within the organization to, succeed the mission or the objective of the company. Mm-hmm. And that's something. So like, I do human resource management right now for Securitas. And that's awesome because, Securitas, there's like 120,000 employees in North America. So there's a massive upward network for me to draw. If I have a question, I can just get a hold of my area HR. They know it right there. Yeah. But she's great. She'll take me through. She takes a lot of time to explain it to me. I work directly with the district manager for the state. He is another wealth of knowledge. I get a lot of questions answered immediately, but they explain it to me. And then I just started with Rainbow Restoration here in town. Yeah. And that one, I got to tell you, I was hired as a team development manager, but the role is expanding and morphing into something different because, they didn't know exactly what they needed. I didn't know exactly what the role was. So working with those guys, that's where I'm kind of getting to put the, because it's a local franchise. But the stuff that I'm learning at Securitas is massive company. I can take that and apply it and use that to try to sustain growth over at a Rainbow, and that's what's fascinating to me. I really.
How many people work at Rainbow? Would you say right now?
I think we got.
You don't think exactly.
What am I do? I'm gonna count on my fingers real quick.
I'd take my shoes off.
Yeah. You asking? We might be there.
You use my toes.
10 or 11.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like
it's small.
Yeah, so you're learning on the macro and the micro, exactly. But there's like things how it works on both.
Yes.
And now you're kind of finding out what does and doesn't, and you didn't even know coming into there. Like they kind of said, we got like 10 people.
Yeah. This is the vision for your job.
Yeah.
Let's work, but it has been cool because the goal is obviously growth. We want to expand business. They were doing great on growing the business on their own. They quadrupled their sales over last year. They're doing a lot on their own. But it's really cool to see something where you take uniform policy and you apply it to a place that doesn't have uniform policy, and you see how it can take you to the next level. So that's what I think is cool.
Oh, especially on something like that, like a restoration, like looking professional, walking into someone's house or business, like that is so important.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, that to me is, and I always have like a, I have a soft spot for labor. Been doing labor up until I was human resource management. So these guys, they come in and they just get to work, and it's like I appreciate that more than So.
Yeah, and then rewarding it when due.
Yeah.
And decentivizing the bad.
Exactly.
Well, it's not. You're a really good dude. I like you, so I feel like it takes a special kind of person to get people to buy into any type of idea, especially like when it's for a corporation or for a job, and trying to get people to see the bigger picture. Like, hey, if we just work a little bit harder, if we just tighten this up a little bit more, like things could get potentially way better for all of us. So that's cool, man. Kudos to you. That's not an easy job to get people, like I said, to kind of buy into an idea and like what the cog. Like I know that can be annoying to say, but like it is a necessary thing that sometimes, not necessarily that we fall into place, but like if you're going to be somewhere, that you should invest in what you're doing and believe in doing a good job. And
the way you worded it too is like exactly like what I'm trying to push, that buy-in. And it's like, there is ownership in this for you. This, if things are done well, I mean, that's how everyone finds success. So, buy into it, believe in what you're doing, and take some pride in the job. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think post-COVID, everything's like the social contract between ownership and labor has kind of changed on its own. And without a strike, without anything like that, just because there's not enough people to do the job. Right. So it's no longer that you show up and this guy owns you for 8 hours. Right. Yeah, we have a contract for me to do this job well, to represent your business well, so you can pay me. This job gets done. Everyone wins. This is like we're working together. Yeah. So
there's so many social dynamics at play. And so, when you see the change, and you're right, since COVID, it's kind of wild to see. And I see it a lot with, it's more on Securitize's end, but, you hire a lot of young people and, yes. I'm not even saying anything, I'm not trying to even say anything bad. It's just different, the
you're allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah. So the way you interact, it is, it's different. And I'm a very unconventional HR manager. I'm not.
You're HR?
I know it's weird.
Oh my God, dude. Who do we report to? I'd love to have you as my HR, dude. But I'm gonna report you to HR. Like, do it, motherfucker.
I self-report. You know what I'm saying? I say something awful, and then it's like, all right, I'm going to go tell HR.
Spin around. Surprise.
I'm going to give myself a written warning now.
JK, lol, please don't call the hotline.
Yeah, also, please.
But real sorry.
It does kind of like what Drew was saying, like since COVID, yes, there are bad corporations and bad owners out there, but it seems like not everyone, but I just feel like how I hear a lot of people, it seems like it has become like the workers against like ownership. Not everywhere.
But you're not wrong.
And everyone feels like they're kind of being cheated and wronged. And I'm not saying that, that people weren't for a long time, but I feel like, corporations were kind of forced to make it a little bit better. But I just feel like the overall, how I hear a lot of people talk anymore, it's kind of, that's how it seems. It's like us versus them. And that's why it feels like, why I was saying kudos to you, because I would assume this sometimes me trying to be like, I'm sure I'm like the annoying, like, come on guys, let's
pick it up.
Hey, I know we're enjoying this conversation here, but why don't we go back to work and talk?
We can talk. Yeah. You got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah. But it's like kudos to you, because I would assume now it's even harder than ever to get people, like I said, to buy into a process and the bigger picture of what the company is and what it can be.
Well, I noticed that I was so with Graincraft, I was in a union, and what you were saying about us versus them, and it's like I've never experienced the union we were with. I disagreed with them on so many levels, and it was a lot of dishonesty, and the union can do and say essentially whatever they want, and then the company, they can't really say anything back. Anything they say can be considered as promissory. I mean, there's just so many barriers,
A lot of red tape that you don't.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I asked for help in a decertification, and I was honestly going to the international vice president at the time. His salary in our constitution that year was like $203,000 a year, right? All on the labor union members' dues and stuff. And we were talking about perhaps decertifying our union, because it wasn't just me that kind of had these feelings. But as the shop steward, it got brought to me, and I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. I don't want to do the wrong thing. So I asked the international vice president for help. He dead ass tells me to get a promissory note from the plant manager to break the law. And that's where I was like, dude, I'm asking you for real help. Like, I want to make sure I'm not doing things wrong. I'm trying to be the best shop steward I can be. And you tell me to break the law. But you know what you're saying, us versus them. And it's like, that mentality gets driven so hard.
You were a steward, dude?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm in the union, so.
Yeah, I really well, that was the thing. I took over the union role because, like, I knew there were problems within the union. I didn't know they were as deep as they were, but I wanted to help, and I knew there was, like, different retirement plans that maybe we could vote for, and our pension was insolvent. There was a lot of bad things about it.
What union was that?
BCTGM.
And that is
bakery, confectionery, tobacco grower, or tobacco and grain millers.
Yeah, it's shocking, not shocking, but it's always so fun to me to find out there's the unions everywhere, and there's some cool ones. So I appreciate
union?
it. It sucks. I'm in the local 82 Carpenters Union.
Gotcha.
So we're the best of the best.
Hell yeah.
But no, I think that's cool, man. And the union, I love being a part of it. It's not perfect, but I appreciate that you gave a crap, because I have so many people that complain about it. And it's like, all right, dude, we'll go to a meeting every once in a while and voice, your,
Oh my man, it was like pulling teeth trying to get anyone to even vote on an issue.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm spinning my wheels trying to cover 3 shifts with you guys. Can you please just give me? Like, I don't care. Well, then quit bitching when things don't go your way.
Well, that's
When you literally have a voice.
Yeah.
it's funny to see it like on a smaller, and that's also, I feel like, can transfer to like a larger scale with how some of the things go in the, anyways. I'm
really?
not going to get into politics, but I just feel like, a lot of these guys, they don't want to get involved, but then when stuff goes the way they don't want it to, it's like, well, you got to go and you got to vote. Well, and for me, it's like, I like being active, and I like trying to be active and trying to find ways that I can try and make my experience in the union better and all the people around me.
Yeah.
So, and what's been really nice is that they know that I want to be heavily active with them. So I'm about to become a 3rd-year apprentice, and I can start going down to Vegas to the training facility. So
Nice.
But
Nice.
one of the things I'm looking forward to is kind of would like to become a job steward, because that's not, I mean, you get a little bit extra money, but the responsibility that comes with that, as far as like keeping your coworkers, not just your coworkers, but other people in different trades safe on the job site. So that's why I got excited. I know a couple of people I know that I work with that were stewards, and that's a big responsibility. And especially if it sounds like you took it serious. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. You see it go both ways, or the guy in the role could give a shit less, but been there 25, 30 years, and then it's just like, no one's going to vote me out. Right. And it's like, I mean, you got the loyalty of all these people, I guess, because of something you did 10 years ago. But since then, you haven't done anything, and now everyone around you is upset, and then you jump in. And I mean, it can be a lot of work, but it can also be in the negotiation where I met the chief resource officer. I mean, that was the day I was like, that's the goal. That's where I want to be, right? But I'm like grateful for the opportunity that the union afforded me, and that I got to be in that situation. I got to kind of sit down and plead my case to this guy. And, I feel like we got good raises, and, we worked some things out, and it was 2 days of, us beating the shit out of a point, essentially. Right. And it paid off, I thought. And so that was super rewarding.
Well, that's really like being a part of like a process, like where you're negotiating better wage and benefits and stuff like that.
So you got to plead the case. You got to say, well, this is why we feel this. And it was cool. But then that same international vice president I told you about, our chief resource officer came in. He had notebooks prepared, right? And he's like, this is living wages. This is housing costs. I mean, he's throwing out information left and right. Our international vice president showed up with a backpack with a fucking composite notebook in it and a pen. He got to the hotel that morning to start negotiating. He gets out, clicks his pen. He's like, all right, what are we talking about? And I was like, do you even have a copy of our contract? No. I'm going to throw in my copy of the contract. Like, well, you're really earning that fucking $250,000 a year, huh, big guy?
Yeah. I showed up, didn't I?
Hell yeah, I'm here. All right, let's buy you lunch.
Yeah, we went. I think it was a year and a half ago, but we went and fought the right to work against right to work up at the Capitol, and it was cool. We weren't. I can't remember how many carpenters were there, but I think there was over 700 union people throughout the state of Montana. So that was kind of cool just to see. I like being a part of something bigger than myself, so I feel like the union gives me like a nice option to that. So
and kudos to you for like actually showing up with the homework for the guy. You know what I mean? Because you can look those guys in the face even to this day and be like, I hope you have a better life.
Really tried to do something here.
And it's the best you could do is obviously you don't have $1 million just give to everybody. So.
Right. Well, and I don't want to come off as like anti-union. I'm not anti-union.
No,
it's just the fact that,
that.
I just don't want anyone out there.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
I don't care what they think.
Yeah, fuck these guys. No.
We're here for you.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
No, just I appreciate it when it serves a purpose and it's there actually trying. Right. Not just collecting money from people because they can.
Exactly.
That's where.
Well, it just is always nice to hear people that care. Honestly, like it
Yeah.
sounds like you cared there, and now you're heading into a career field that you really care about, and you're already starting to succeed in.
Yeah.
So you want to take a little bit of a break. Do you know how long of a break you want to take then, or
No,
you just kind of just whatever feels right to you? Or
Yeah, I've been insecure about my weight, since I was a kid. So when I first started fighting, like 2013, I was calling myself skinny. I was like, I'll just beat him to the punch, But it is getting to the point where, the fighting it hurts, damn near 30. It's just starting to add up.
yeah,
Wayne and Jake up at TNT, they're, people I lean on a lot. They're like my OG sponsors. They're just, they're friends of mine. And
they're the bomb.
Yeah.
oh
they
yeah,
are
such
amazing.
good people. Yeah. Jake's going to do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah,
Yeah, he posted on there.
I was so excited for it. But then my homeboy Jamie's doing it too, and it's just, I wish two people could win a show.
Yeah.
I'm showing up as Deadpool.
Are you?
I don't know where it's at, but I should.
I
I
think
have
it's
a.
in
I did
Seattle.
have a. I have a Deadpool.
Spokane
costume.
or
Spokane?
Seattle.
Yeah, it's in one of the S's in Washington.
I don't know if they let me into the Deadpool.
Snoqualmie.
I mean, there's that thing.
But yeah, so
Just a
so
bottle of oil.
the weight drops are too hard, or you
Not
want to
even
put on
that.
weight, or what do you?
I'd like to put on some size. I don't feel like I look like an adult. I look like a.
I feel like your beard definitely makes you.
Yeah, but wait till I get rid of it, and I just look like a tall teenager with
Hey.
a lot of tattoos.
Look, I'm just gonna
I
warn
don't
you,
see that now.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Ryan. I was a 170 fighter, and now I weigh 215. Okay,
Yeah.
so like once you start bulking, you never stop because then it's
That's
just
what I'm hoping for.
yeah, that's kind of what happens.
I'm gonna be 215, 220.
So
Oh, easy, dude, with your frame. I
hope
bet
so.
you, they tell you that. I bet you Jake and them tell you that too, huh?
Oh no, Wayne has discouraged me from gaining weight. At least while I'm actively cutting to 45. He's like, it's gonna
Oh my
take
God,
forever. It's not gonna. It's gonna be offset.
Yeah.
So
He's giving me very sound advice. But,
Yeah,
because the
but
goal
I
is
mean,
stay
yeah, but
45.
what you could get to if you maxed,
Right, right.
Yeah,
So what do you walk around at normally? Like 170 or?
The heaviest I've ever gotten to was 170. It was 176 before I cut to 45
Okay.
for that June 9th fight.
Okay.
But right now I don't really break. The heaviest I get, around 70, 68, 69 is like the heaviest I'll get.
So are you wanting to put on some weight and then fight at a heavier weight class? Or are you kind of just gonna...
I mean, the cut from 76 to I weighed in at 44 and a half. That one was rough. It took me about I ate some hot wings tonight because I'm gonna do a full Senai and then 3 weeks to lose like this next 18, 19 pounds, whatever it is. But that's that's pretty manageable. The cut, that last cut took me about 5 weeks, which was 3 weeks is tough of the hard cut. 5 weeks was like torture.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I got up that 75 to 80 range, which I think I could get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just because like right now I stay under kind of on purpose. 75, 80 range. Maybe I'd look at going 55, but at the same time too, I mean, I'll fight it. Like, I took that 170 fight and I walked into the cage at like 63. Like,
Yeah.
I'll fight anywhere. I don't really care about
Fight James Dennis.
James Dennis.
I think you guys already fight at Flow State anyways. Why don't you both just get paid?
I
to
just
do
don't
it?
want him to punch me.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. I love James so much, dude.
Oh
and
my
that dude
God.
fucking punches so hard.
He's one of
He's
those
so
ones
fun.
that hits someone in the sound of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
route.
you're wanting to get up to what then, like 185? You're saying, so then you could fight it like
No,
one.
I want to get up as big as I could get. I mean, and that's something like I have to work out for my own like mental well-being.
Right.
I just don't know how to like process without doing that. You need to get closer.
Yeah, you're good. I was just telling Jake to turn his mic.
Oh dang!
Oh, okay.
So sounds a little bit better.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're
Feel
fine.
free to call us out on that too.
Yeah.
If I'm not paying attention to you because I
Dumb
have
dick, get
ADHD.
closer.
Yeah.
I'm making deep eye contact.
This is nice.
Yeah.
I know it's been, it's been in an enclosed room together.
Yeah.
You two need to leave.
Keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah. Turn it on live.
This one's not gonna just wipe off.
Yeah. We got plastic for the couch. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You came prepared.
Yeah.
Got the steamer. That's fine.
No, I would get and that's something I mean, after this one, it's an indefinite, time off because I am trying to, my kids are in Spokane with their mom right now. So I want to set up and have, my own space in Post Falls where I can just travel back and forth for work as I need to, but still, be with them, at least half of the time. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and they're still little too.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like, they moved for the school year, which I think Washington is going to be great and afford them a lot of opportunities that maybe aren't here. So
For sure.
I mean, that was, that was
still
a decision
tough,
between
dude.
the two of
That's
us.
that's like the decision as a parent is like, it's a selfless act sometimes. It's not that you don't love them. It's just that you give them the opportunity. I had to do that with my son and his mother, and now he's back and he lives with me now at 16, but
he's the coolest kid ever, dude.
Yeah, dude. Super lucky.
The coolest kid ever.
Awesome. But, and that was super cool. Like how I explained to, I think it was one of the other episodes with Terrell, but how I knew your parents. We showed up at your garage and like that whole situation when you were a teenager. Now my son's like the same age and he was my training partner at jiu-jitsu. And like the first time he hip tossed me was like this like bonding experience.
Right.
I've been waiting
pride.
for that. Yes. Because I introduced him just like, that Vegeta introducing Trunks, this, you find one, he's not,
Great
he's exactly like me. Yes. But now he's 16. He just did that weightlifting. He went from 180 to 195 of muscle, and I've been injured. I feel like he's been bucking up a little bit.
I
So
think he's doing it on purpose. He can challenge.
first order of business is taking him down to flow state.
Yep.
That's what I said. I took him down to jiu-jitsu and reminded him that I could fold him in his clothes. I can fold his clothes with him in them.
There you go, right?
I have to remind him every once in a while.
It is fun, dude, because I've known you for so long, like watching him like grow up, and now that he's like doing this weight training, like he'll like when I'm picking him up or something, when he's around, he'll like come down and be like, I was doing. He like, what was he showing me? Was he
His
doing, like,
deadlifts. Yeah, he's all excited about his deadlifts.
He literally shows me like 10 videos of him deadlift. He's like, oh wait, it's right here. Watch
Picked
like
up the
40
thing,
seconds.
that's
Oh, wait,
awesome.
it's right here. Watch like another 30 seconds. So it's cool, dude.
He's proud of
his advancement. One, I appreciate that he sees me as a friend where he's like that excited.
Are you kidding me? You went to his little league games.
Radical.
But
yeah, dude.
Post Falls is a cool area, dude. You'll like it. My sister lived there for like 16 years, and then she just moved to Spokane. So, and then so I guess Kai's gonna be moving over there, isn't he? Is he talking about?
Yeah. I think
there?
he's already set up in Spokane.
Yeah. I didn't know if he had officially gotten a house yet or not, or what was going on. But it sounds like he's
I don't know
gonna
what his living
start.
situation, but I know he's been training down there. And
So I mean that'll be kind of cool. You can continue to have some. I mean, not that you can't find a place to train at, but you'll have an old training partner there. Yeah.
That does seem like the regional capital right now for like the training situation.
They got some serious gyms
Well,
over there.
didn't Nunez? Not Nunez. Who just won the belt? What was her name? Pena.
Pena.
Yeah.
Pena. There you go. Sorry.
I think she trains in Chicago.
Okay, she was out of Spokane. That's where.
She was out of Spokane, but I think she trains in Chicago right now. Because I think I've seen stuff with like her training with Bilal, who's also out of Chicago. So that's just what I think. I don't know. I'll look it up. I got the.
I'd like to go over there though.
Yeah.
And
Can you fact check that, please?
yeah, Drew. I love that we have that.
I know it's literally clutch.
But I'd like to go over there because I was talking to Kai's strength and conditioning coach. What's his name? I totally blanked it. But the dude over at DL Training Systems.
Yeah.
Dude, that facility is huge. He was telling me about how big it was and just like all the different stuff they have over there. So
Cool.
Him and I had talked before. Kai, he stopped over at my sister's when I was visiting her in Spokane before his fight against Duran. And it was just like I was telling him because he's like, he was a little bit worried, it seemed like, because he doesn't want people to think that he's turning his back on Montana. I was like, bro, at a certain point, like, you're advancing to such a high level that, like, no one's, I would never say that he turned on his, you know what I mean? But it's like, at a certain point, you have to do what's right for your career.
I noticed, like, he's training, like, all of the time, and I can't come in and train with you. And that's something me and him talked about it before he moved, and he's like, you got to go do what's best for you. And no one here can train like at the same rate that you're training because you're always training.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to, we can help you out in certain spots, but definitely you need people who are as committed to their training as you are to yours, and not many of us are.
Unless you have the funds to move them out here and they have the funds to support themselves, and it's like you build a team of like animals. But that takes money.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, and just the population. I mean, look at how many gyms do we have here fighting wise? We have Flow State and Counterpunch, and then
Electric City.
yeah, and then Electric City, and then Dude. Not that it's a fighting thing. Dude owns this karate thing. Blood.
Oh, you mean Dragonfire
Bloodworth,
Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Preston
yeah,
Bloodworth,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like there's only there's like 3 or 4 spots that you can like actually get some training in, and then like at least over there, there's just so many more options for him over there. I'm happy for him, and I'm glad that he's taking the next big step in his
the right
career.
thing for himself. Yeah.
So
You have to, man.
yeah.
And plus,
I was going to say, Ryan, what do you think about Kai's fighting Jimmy Rivera?
I think, we've been, so he was preparing for that Dat Gwyn guy a while ago. And that guy's a munchkin, size wise. He's so short. And I don't know, Rivera's like 5'3", 5'4", right?
He's tiny. Yeah, he's short.
He was training for him a while ago, and I think Dat's like a faster Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy hits harder, but Jimmy's obviously very tough. He was in the UFC and all that. I mean, Kai's got his work cut out for him, but Dat was like a faster him, I thought.
Yeah.
And
when he was stacking up some nice little BKFC wins. He was a belt holder too, right?
Yeah, I think at 35.
Yeah.
But getting ready for that fight, I saw a lot of improvement in Kai's game, especially with shorter fighters. The way the way they have to force in his counters, because right now he's so switch-footed. He'll cut in, he'll close that distance, overpower you, make you feel like you see him when he fights people and they almost feel desperate by the third round. It's like I'm punching at nothing. They're trying to fire off that one punch that's going to sleep him, and they miss, blow their load even more, and then he's right back on him. And that's been his fighting style.
Yeah.
The way he was working misdirection with the Dat fight. And I haven't gotten a lot of work with him for this Rivera fight, but misdirection is something else big he worked for Duran. And I was there for a lot of the Duran and the Howard, like I pretended to be Howard Davis for that camp, The way he's, like he baits in, switches off, and then he's able to attack and then get back out to his range, especially against the shorter fighter. I just don't see Rivera having the especially on straight hands, I don't see him having the tools to get it done. Now, that said, though, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Kai, but I think Kai knows that, so he's going to be prepared.
I don't think any fight has been an easy one for him, but he comes out every time. I mean, he was everyone had basically counted him out against Howard Davis, and the same thing with Duran. I mean, granted, Duran did have the shoulder thing, but I think Kai was already he was finding the cracks, dude, and he was exposing them early in that fight.
Absolutely.
So you can, I mean, not trying to say anything against Duran, not trying to take anything away from him. He did have a shoulder injury, but I feel like Kai was already starting to expose some weaknesses in his game. Personally, that's just me. I'm just a fan watching. Yeah. But so yeah, I feel like every time, like it's like everyone but the locals see what's coming, because they know then you train with him, so you see what he does.
Every time you get asked, how's Kai gonna do? He's gonna drown him. Right. Is what's gonna happen. Even sparring Kai, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, the high workload that he got from wrestling, he brought over.
Just paces. And
he really does drag you down. You watch him do it in those fights, and he's so
good at being heavy on the head, which is weird in a stand-up fight, but he'll rip your head.
Yeah.
And constantly fighting to get yourself back up, and that's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're grappling. That's what I told you.
Yeah.
I just remember that first time I did, like, you're doing like 7 kickboxing rounds. You get down, you're like, oh, that was all right. All right, we're going to switch over. Do you mind like just doing like MMA, or like, well, how about shoot boxing? Yeah. You do 1 shoot boxing round.
So different.
You're tired. Like one grappling exchange, 20 seconds in, you're just like exhausted, like drenched. But I was fine after just...
Yeah. How's it going out here? I can dance a little bit.
I knocked you out.
I do find it funny that they have him fighting Rivera and not Brandon Allen. So I would assume maybe that's why they have Brandon Allen fighting on this card, so then they can.
No, it looks like they're doing all that, so then the division's in time now.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy's like 4. Brandon Allen's been 1 rank for a hot minute now. Well, since Duran lost. But I don't know if it's maybe some of the people he's fought just kind of aren't on the same level. I don't know what that is, but I was thinking for sure. I thought Kai was going to end up, the BKFC was going to set up Kai and Brandon Allen before the Duran fight.
I have to imagine there's some star power to Jimmy Rivera's name, just
right.
With the UFC record. So maybe it's just another.
I guess I didn't really think about that.
But that's it. I mean, Jimmy's tough, and he's fought. I mean, what was it? Jeremy Stevens was his only loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he had a draw with Howard.
Yeah, I mean, Howard Davis, he's no shit.
Right.
Jeremy Stevens, obviously, he's no shit. Daniel Strauss, that's a damn good win.
Yeah.
I can't see the second name.
Something.
Daniel Strauss, Jeremy Stevens. Oh, I don't know.
That's a lot of letters and vowels.
Something Russian.
I'm sure he's tough.
Yeah.
Ukrainian, maybe Polish.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. One, I feel like Kai finally deserves to have like that big fight. Yeah, I know he was chasing Dat a lot because he wanted someone who had that previous, star power from a different fight promotion. So Kai deserves to he deserves to be getting. In my opinion, I feel like the BKFC is. Actually, I'm not going to say anything, but I feel like they could be promoting him just a little bit harder than they do. But he's forcing them to do this kind of stuff. Like he literally, I don't want to say single-handedly, but him beating Duran twice. Well, he went out of state twice. I mean, the first time was neutral ground, but the second time he went literally to the Lion's Den and did put in work. Mm-hmm. So he basically forced BKFC to come back here, and
no, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I can't tell people enough to get out there and watch.
Well, but the Mason and Allen fight, if you told me that was an eliminator fight, that makes all the sense in the world. I can see that.
It totally looks like that.
I mean, I'm just fucking around down there. I'm not super worried about what's going on with me.
Oh, it's all right. You're right.
But I know Robert Amos has kind of been climbing, and Louis been trying to make his way
Louis
back.
Still ranked?
Is he
I don't even know the
6 or
rankings.
7? I don't even know if he's that now. Does it show right there? Oh, dang, Robert's 36, huh? Yeah, I'm not sure what Louis' rank is, actually, but...
Dylan Schulte, I'm excited to see what that kid's going to do at 45, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fun fights. Like I said, and it's really interesting that there's 4 or 5 145-pound fights, so maybe they're trying to get that division shook up a little bit. You were saying earlier, it was funny because I had the privilege to meet Howard Davis when I was in Denver.
Yeah.
But I had talked to them, and then as I had stayed in contact until Salt Lake, when I had talked to those guys, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's never fought anyone that tall and blah blah." And I knew that Kai had been training with you, so it's like a little tongue in cheek kind of thing with it, and it was just like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's just too tough luck for him,"
right?
And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, everyone counts him out, and this whole card is gonna be fun, dude. A lot of the homies are gonna be on it.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, I feel like they actually I was saying I felt like this event was being set up a little bit with there being a Grizz and Cat game in Montana at the same time, but it feels like they've actually kind of spent some money to bring in some pretty good fighters from out of state. So I do appreciate that, because sometimes the cards, especially us being way over here and they're on the East Coast, they can be a little lackluster. But so I'm excited for it. I feel like there's a lot of really good fights on here. Obviously, Kai's the big one.
Brady's on it too?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. I didn't know. I know last time me and him spoke, he said he was waiting on an opponent, but it looked all right. He got one.
Yeah. I think he just announced not even a week ago, I think, that he was going to be on this card. And he had a tough loss. Or did he even fight in Canada, or something happened with that fight, didn't it?
No,
that's right. Okay,
we were talking about being on the card
He's
together.
been trying to get a fight. I
Forever.
think he'll do good.
Yeah.
He looked good
he's
as
a
hell
good
against
dude.
that first kid.
Yeah.
Good understanding of his range. He's tall.
Yeah. And he's just such a nice dude. He's just like such a chill.
He's got this cat that's blind.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
He's so
blind?
fucking cool. I don't know. I think he's deaf or something. I don't know.
Well,
Something's off with him.
We went to help Paris record Shay's stuff, right?
Yeah.
and for the UFC stuff, and we were helping him. I mean, helping. When I say helping him, I was using the smoke machine for him.
Right.
But Paris did. Don't let me steal his thunder. Paris did all the actual videoing. And I was just
I like that.
smoking it up in the back. But
The smoke machine is cool though.
it was pretty lit, dude.
Yeah.
I
It
just
was-
want like one for my own life all the time. I'll just like smoke up. Someone will be like walking the room. I'll like smoke up behind me real quick. And
Mystique.
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna say that was actually really cool to see, like the process of Paris doing that, and then being at the fights, and then seeing what he produced with what I saw him make, and then it's like that looked awesome. And then hey, that smoke there, my buddy Jake, Jake made that smoke happen.
And I thought it was cool. I don't know if you'd done it before, but it said Fresh Bread Productions under it. And I didn't know if you had inserted that before, but I thought that was a nice little
Oh
touch.
yeah, I asked him in Great Falls if I can do that, just because
Yeah.
it's hometown. So it was kind of cool to throw it up there. Like,
Yeah.
oh hey, I know that guy.
Hey, that guy. But so yeah, what's one of your favorite fights? We haven't heard much from you, Paris. What are you looking most forward to? Obviously, Kai's the big one because it's the homie and he's defending the title. But like, what excites you most about this card that you're seeing?
So I'm super stoked to see Leo fight again, especially to come back and get that fight. It's always cool to see Dallas Davidson fight. I think the Louis Lopez and Armas fight's gonna be badass. Of course, stoked to watch Ryan fight. Stoked to watch Brady fight. I just like it's cool watching people fight, but it's also like nerve wracking at the same time.
Yeah.
Like when Kai defended his belt and I was watching it against Brian Duran in Miami, I was just like, you get nervous, like so nervous. It's crazy.
We were all sitting. You guys know Nick Nordell?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When Kai fought Duran, we were all having a watch party at Nick Nordell's house. And everyone's eating, shooting the shit. It's all a good time up until then. Even like when Leo fought on that card, it's kind of like, okay, put that. So, Leo's like everybody's Uncle Leo. Like he's cool no matter what. You know that. And Kai comes up to eat, and you just put your shit down. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, and especially that Duran fight, because if Duran hit him, that was
Yep.
landed flush.
There was
as
so
he's
much
coming.
build up to
Right,
it too. It's
dude.
like, man.
Well, I mean, he was
there's a lot on this
punching.
one.
He was punching those the sledgehammer. Maybe that's how he messed his shoulder up. But I'm throwing a hypothesis out there.
Dude, it was.
But the
It's all
downside of that is like when you do have a friend fighting, like our mutual friend Ryan Hill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when he got knocked out, and that was a scary knockout where they're out for minutes. The stretcher takes him out. That's your buddy. That's like your friend.
Well, in that card, that was the fight immediately before my fight.
Oh my gosh!
And I remember like I didn't watch it happen. I was in back warming up, and then like the crowd silenced, and then it's like you kind of like, what the hell happened? You go out there and someone tells you like what's going on. You're like, oh shit. And you're watching him, and there's like all concern for your fight out the window.
Yeah.
And then you got to get yourself re-psyched to go
Reset the whole.
You got to remember that I have to remember every time that something like that happens. It's like I've been to a lot of fights. They always get back up.
Yeah.
Normally, there's only been the one that went to the hospital that I've seen. That.
It always sucks watching, like I said earlier, it's like, oh, it was really tough watching you lose. I always get like so psyched because I like my friends so much. And I see some of the work you guys are putting in. And then it's like, when you lose, it's just like, golly, I don't like that. And then I'm like, dang, I can only imagine how crappy they feel right now. And it just, to keep going. I mean, a lot of people would quit, dude, like at the first time, you know what I mean? Just be like, oh yeah. And just, so. It's fun to watch you guys. It's nerve wracking. Or Kai's fight, like we were talking about, the one against Duran, dude. It's my wife's family in Yakima. They're all religious, dude. And they're like, oh, like what do you watch? I was like, we had to do some stuff with like her families. Like, I have to watch these fights tonight because there was a couple people on that card I wanted to watch. And then like Kai's one, I literally was sitting outside chain smoking cigarettes, bro. And then I went outside because they're like, oh no, you can watch yours. Watch, because they were trying to get me to screen share it onto their TV. And it was like fucking up, and I was like, I can't do this. And then I couldn't be around because they're religious, and I didn't want to disrespect them and swear a bunch. But yeah, they're like, you can watch it here. I'm like, fuck no, I can't. I'm out there, like 2 cigarettes lit at the same time. Like, it's nerve wracking watching you guys fight, but it's also really fun because I get to share just a little bit of joy with you guys when you do win. And
I think it's
we are getting at about an hour. I do want to ask, you brought up Nick's name. He's got a really cool cause that he just took over from someone else. Do you want to explain that a little bit and then explain how you are now being involved in this process as well?
So Nick Nordell took over iFight, so the kids don't have to, from Sean Hertel. Sean started that. It's a terrible story. It's not my story to tell, but Sean lost his little girl. And yeah, I mean, so Nick took it over from Sean, and the whole point of it is to help raise awareness, child abuse, child crisis centers, things like that. So what Nick and I have now done, so Nick took it over, and then I fight, and it's like, yeah, I mean, Nick's my boy, let's do this together. So we went and had a sit down with the Toby's house, and
that is what?
They're like a child crisis daycare center.
Okay. You were there yesterday or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had lunch with Miston up there yesterday.
Sorry,
what is today?
Thursday. So Wednesday.
It was Monday.
Word.
But then they did the yeah. Sorry, everything's running.
I got you off track. I got you off track. So you were.
But yeah, and so we're trying to raise awareness. We're trying to, I guess, get the community involved in contributing towards pretty much just providing their needs, diapers, clothes, financial, however people can help out, just kind of raise issue and show what they're doing and how it can help, kids who are impacted by, it doesn't even have to be child abuse necessarily, but, parents falling on hard times even, parents battling addiction. It's things like that.
It goes just beyond just one, thing, not just like one thing, but.
Yeah, and that's
the general scope of it, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, so what we're doing is,
if you will,
we got like TNT, Sing Contracting, those guys. If you're sponsoring me for a fight, we're doing the iFight program. If you're sponsoring me, that's normally a cash benefit that I receive. Under the iFight banner, I'm gonna take all that cash that I get from the sponsors, and we're gonna give it to Toby's house.
All of it?
Yeah, all the cash that I get. So I'll keep my purse, but the sponsor money, it's all going over. And Nick's doing the same.
So how do you cover the cost of training and stuff then? Or how are you paying for that if you're donating all of your...
I train for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donate.
Dude,
my gym dues are $35.
There's so much I want to talk to you about. I mean, like your history with like your dad and how he got into it and all that. We'll definitely have to have you on again and have your dad on.
Love to.
So is there a site that people can go to see the list of stuff that they need at the house?
So Nick and I are putting that together now. Just trying to get like a resource list, like a helps list. Like I said, this is really early planning.
Yeah.
And you guys are actually like the first people I've talked to about this.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, like we got to figure it out with the Toby's house too. See if maybe they can put like I imagine they already have a list, but I do need to get some stuff out on my social, like the Ryan, the Electric City Strangler Ibsen Facebook page. I'll put some stuff out. Nick's been all over it.
Okay. Well, when you guys get a list together, let us know. It'd be fun to help share it. And call up the local 82 and then talk to Mario Martinez. And the union's always really interested in helping out, especially when it's involved with kids. So, I mean, they donated $500 for the playground thing that I did. So cool. I'm not saying every time that they don't... people that you listen to this think every time you can hit them up and they will, but just call the local hall and ask for if you can talk to Mario or he'll actually be in town this weekend because we're doing some door knocking for some stuff for the union, but he's a good dude to talk to, and it may not be right now, but the union is really good about being proactive with the community, especially when it's with the youth. So maybe we can
the tip. Thank you.
Maybe we can come together and help out a little bit. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for that too, Fresh Bread Productions will donate. We can talk about that after.
Okay.
So I'll donate some cash, and then maybe if you need like any services or anything.
Damn, are we about to start
start
another little crazy donation run?
Do it. We'll share it to our socials and everything too once you get it going.
Okay. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, maybe we could try and... I know you're pretty busy with speaking socially and Christmas stuff, but maybe we could get to a little bit of donations together for like a Christmas thing. If they come
totally.
up.
Yeah, because we do that every year to where we here in this office and Speaking Socially, shout out to Speaking Socially, where we have Santa in here. He's like one of the best Santas. kids come down, they get a free present, they get to meet Santa, and they get a
cool.
piece of candy and stuff like that. So we do
Piece
that
of candy.
piece of candy. We do that every December and early December, usually on the weekend or something like that. But yeah, we can talk about it. We'll figure something out for that.
Thank
Well,
you, guys.
I mean, that's if this comes together. But yeah, we should think about that and talk to maybe a couple of people. And I know some people automatically that would donate towards that. But
Yep.
even if we just got together like $500 for them to,
yeah, that's
like,
every bit helps.
life-changing,
That's huge.
Yeah, well,
thank you.
yeah, we should. I mean, we haven't done shit yet, so don't think. I mean, Paris has done something.
Throwing out ideas and
He's
you
gonna-
know put in the work. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, well, just I that's my biggest goal is like I want to be super, and that's why I love the union is because they're giving me an avenue to be more community forward. I mean, I could have been before, but it's giving me a nice way to do it, and yeah, and just kind of seeing you guys, and I don't know, just all of it. I love my community is all I can say, in any way that I can help it and help your journey, and if helping your journey helps that journey, and you know, so on and so forth, then it's all for the good, better of the cause. So I'm fucking rambling, anyways.
You're killing it.
Paris, do you have anything else to say?
So, Ryan, go ahead and give us where people can follow you, socials, all that stuff. You want to give any of your sponsors a shout out to? Go for that.
Yeah. So I guess, sponsorship shout out. I want to, Total Nutrition Tanning, Wayne and Jake. They're the shit. You got any questions about health in any way, go get with them. They can answer it all. They can help you out with everything. Singh Contracting, Harvey Singh, that's my homeboy. Anything you need done on the exterior of a house, a business, commercial property, whatever it is, hit up Harvey Singh. And yeah, the Toby's house, they're doing a wonderful thing. I'm grateful they let us be a part of that. If you want to follow me, all I have right now is a Facebook. I am kind of antisocial. But it's Ryan, the Electric City Strangler Ibsen. I have a Snapchat if anyone wants on that. I think it's just my name.
Yeah,
But
I can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is though.
yeah, but yeah, no, I'm just grateful to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I had
And
a
don't
really
forget
good
the
time.
I Fight cause.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I Fight. Me and Nick Nordell starting that up, or starting to pick that up from Sean Hertel. It's a great program, and hopefully we can affect a positive change in our community. So
I would
that's the
assume
goal.
you already are. You're two really awesome dudes. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Cool. Well, this episode is sponsored by Fresh Bread Productions for all of your commercial and personal photo and video needs.
all right, that was a great episode. Drew, anything else, bud?
No, that was fun. I really
Yeah.
enjoy spending time with Ryan.
Yeah, like
Thanks,
I said,
guys. It was fun.
we want to have you on again. There's so
Yeah,
much
absolutely.
shit to cover. We want to have your dad on and talk about the whole history. And
Yeah.
he messaged us, Drew and I, after we did the first episode. He was kind of telling us the crazy history about how Drew had introduced your dad to like Dave and like him and Ryan McCracken. And
I said,
when I was like,
there's these guys training in a garage. I'm going to bring, and I was coming off a knee injury, I think. I always went with my buddy Ryan, and he was like the stud. And I was like,
So
that-
good.
You're not recording this, are you?
No, we're still
Okay.
rolling.
Oh, I was like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
We're just,
Okay. Do you
So
just
I-
want to give a quick outro and then we'll cut?
yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is Jake, Drew, Paris with our special guest, Ryan, and Through the Ropes. We'll see you guys next time.